there are two standards, right? There are two clear standards that are out there. We are judged by performance and proof.
One of the things that showed me how to get there was the ability to quote unquote levitate.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events in Hampton Roads and beyond.
Wouldn't you like to be a guest on Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham? Well, the link is in the show notes.
And now, here's your host, Blair Durham.
Greetings.
Let's get started, right? Joining me now is Mary Spio. She's the CEO and founder of Seek VR Incorporated. Mary's guiding force has always been her sense of wonder, even during her years as a deep space engineer. Now, as the CEO and founder of Seek, her imagination continues to propel her into the spotlight as VR's new shining star. Mary, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. And you?
I am doing well, and I'm really excited to chat with you, particularly regarding your work as a rocket scientist, the millions of dollars you've raised in venture capital and so forth. Obviously, this is an area where sort of relatively untapped for the Black community. So I'm excited about your contribution. So how did you come to found Seek?
Thank you so much. And thanks for that wonderful introduction too. How I came to found Seek, I've, always loved the notion of entertainment technology, especially because when I started out even though I started as a deep space scientist, I worked on a streaming platform that used satellite, which I thought would allow more independents to be able to distribute their content, because it's such a big block right now to get content, especially content that features us out there. So my initial foray into building distribution platforms was to get more Black people into distributing content, was to get more of the content that I wanted to see out there, and so that's how the initial technology was built. In terms of Seek, when I experienced virtual reality, I knew that, things had turned again, and that where we were going into this whole notion of Web 3.0, and that this is how content would be consumed. And so I wanted to create a platform where it would make it accessible or make it easy to use, and also would be inclusive, which is, why I created Seek.
Wow. I'm on your website now, seek.com, and that's CEEK.com. Okay, incredible. What does it take to both raise $10 million and then to lead a company as a Black woman in what is obviously a white male-dominated space?
It's very challenging, especially as an entrepreneur, to raise capital, because there are two standards, right? There are two clear standards that are out there. We are judged by performance and proof, beyond reasonable doubt. And everybody else is judged by potential. And what that means is for everyone else, when they show up and say, I have this great idea, I'm going to transform the world, I'm going to do this and that, they get the resources to build it. But you have to go build the resources. You have to almost do the impossible, which makes it a huge challenge. And so you have to have ways around that. When I first started out, there was a lot of frustration, but then very quickly I realized that if I was going to do this, I would have to focus on generating the capital, building, showing. And so that's how I've built it. It's been a challenge and it takes longer, but it's very doable.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Again, really exciting. So where is Seek going? What's next? I'm on the site and I'm just amazed by the content that you've put together. What's the trajectory?
Now everybody's talking about the metaverse. Zuckerberg is talking about the metaverse, the Ethereum blockchain people, Bitcoin, everybody's talking about metaverse, which is Web 3.0. And Seek is at the forefront of the metaverse. Back in 2015, I presented the whole idea of the metaverse to Facebook. And, they even, gave us funding for Seek. So I see Seek as it's basically the gateway, is what is going to enable that metaverse that everybody's talking about, because what they're doing and what they're talking about, again, is not accessible, is not user friendly, and it's not inclusive. And so we're building a platform that's going to be inclusive of everyone, that's going to allow any and everyone, regardless of their device, regardless of race, regardless of geography, to be able to access the Web 3.0 and the opportunities that it comes with.
Yeah. I got to ask another question. I'm fascinated by the field of engineering, right? And so reading your bio, a deep space engineer, what does that mean exactly? What kind of things did you play with?
So I was building satellites. I was launching rockets with satellites on them. I was, moving satellites that were at their end of life into what's called a graveyard, where all the satellites go at the end of life.
Gotcha. And where is that exactly? Where do they go?
Oh, there's part of the orbit in outer space where we move them to, so that they're not interfering with other satellites that are in service. And so that's where we move them to. So that's what I was doing. I was building roads in space way before Elon and everybody else that's talking about space, Jeff Bezos, whatnot. And I have satellites that are still out there that I built, of course, with my team at Boeing or at Aerospace Corporation and the different places that I worked as a deep space engineer. But that's basically what you do. You build roads in space, you launch satellites, and at one point I was directly responsible for the satellites that were delivering the content for HBO, AT&T, wow. Everyone, CNN, all the major cable networks. And that's basically what I was doing as a deep space scientist.
You just tuned in. This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, talking with Mary Spio. She's the founder of Seek VR. We're talking about her career as an engineer and the transition to the world of entrepreneurship at a very, very high level. I'd love to hear kind of what that pivot was for you. How did you get to the point where you are now?
So that pivot for me, I went from building satellites to building applications that use satellites. So digital cinema, that is the first main technology. I had patents on streaming over satellite, streaming content, particularly movies over satellite, because back then it was super, super expensive. You were looking at about $30 million for blockbuster release over 30,000 theaters. By the satellite technology that I developed allowed you to do that at a fraction of the cost, like, 300,000. And I had different patents that I sold to the Boeing company, built the technology with Boeing. We launched it, used by Lucasfilms and so on and so forth. But after that was launched, I also realized that even at 300,000, for distributing content, movies particularly, it was still not accessible to everyone. So I created an online video platform, which was used by a lot of radio stations, Hot 97, Power, just everyone. We had Tribune News Company, Xbox, and the rest. Everybody was using our online video platform. And that was the streaming technology. So I went from satellite streaming, so building satellites as a deep space engineer, satellite streaming, online video streaming, and then now looking at virtual reality streaming, to all different devices. So mobile devices, smart TVs, and the list goes on. So it's really been a continuum. It's all just been about being able to carry content from A to B, and then just using my skills and the different tools that are available to me to make sure that this happens. And the one word that I think for me on this journey has been consistent is accessibility and inclusivity, and it's all been about making technology accessible, making all of this, because the more accessible you can make it, the more you're going to be able to get people like you and me building things for it that are relevant to our lifestyle and relevant to our community.
Yeah, I love it. So, all right, layman's terms, right? I mean, everybody hears VR, virtual reality. The first thought that comes to my mind is glasses. Is that what we're talking about? What makes Seek a virtual reality platform? I go onto the site, I'm prompted to maybe download an app, and then I can engage with the video content in what way?
So for us, if for the VR part of it, you can download the app and you can buy the VR headset. We also have VR headphones, which allows you to hear all around you in 360. And when you put the headset on, then now you're able to walk into whether it's a behind the scenes with Ziggy Marley, a concert with Ziggy Marley, or maybe you just want to meditate for a few minutes. You put the headset on and it transports you to a different place. I'm able to purchase the headset via the website, seek.com? Yes, seek.com. When you go on seek.com, just click on headset and you'll be able to buy the Seek VR headset, which is our own headset, which is much, much more affordable than a lot of the products that are in the marketplace, but, equal quality. And we also have the VR headphones, which is the first of its kind in the sense that it can be used with or without VR, but it allows you to hear in 360. We have a lot of top producers that are using it, and we have a lot of artists that are using it too, because it allows you to hear music. It allows you to hear things like you've never heard before. So it's primarily an audio experience. It's not a visual experience. It is. We have both. I was saying that we have both the VR headset and the VR headphones. Okay. So I'm sorry. Look, I'm navigating the site at the same time. I got lost. Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate the questions. Stage. I'm like, these headphones are amazing. I'm looking like, can I order a pair? But then I do see at the top there, the VR headset. Yes. Wow. So for the ultimate experience, I can both wear the headset and the headphones, or only one at a time? Yes. Wow. Yes. For the ultimate, I love that. I love how you put it. For the ultimate experience, you can wear the headphones, the Seek VR headphones, as well as the headset. And what that allows you to do is you can hear behind you, because currently when you wear like a regular headphone, you only hear it at ear level. But when you wear these headphones, you can hear above you, below, and all around, which is necessary when you're in a VR environment, because your current environment gets replaced by something completely new. I'm blown away, first of all. Thank you. I'm blown away and super excited. Okay. So maybe my next question is null and void, but is Seek a disruptor in this space? Yes, 1000%. Seek is definitely a disruptor in this space. I don't know whether they realize it or not, but I have a suspicion that they do. But everything that they're talking about, like I said, for Web 3.0, for the metaverse to be successful, they need a company like Seek, with the placement that we're doing, bringing mainstream audiences into using the metaverse, bringing the types of content that we're bringing, from Ziggy Marley to Lady Gaga, Quavo, and the list goes on. And the way our model is built and the people that we're attracting, this is what's going to create the next social media phenomena in the metaverse that everyone is talking about. And so we're definitely disrupting, the industry. Yeah. Metaverse. Yes. Give us, okay. Because I remember my first kind of exposure to the term. I was deep in all things conscious and blah, blah, blah. But now we're talking about something that is tangible, practical, something that is real. When you say metaverse, what are we saying? Is it the integration of this VR with our everyday reality? Is it something more than that? Something altogether different from that? Bring us up to speed, because I know a lot of us are just bogged down with the day-to-day of this present verse. Right. Much less having an opportunity to explore some of these things that are coming down the pipe. Even with, Zuckerberg kind of bringing a lot of this, current.
So help us out.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we talk about the metaverse, we're thinking the matrix, because what's happening is, we have web 1.0. You just had text and pictures. You had companies like Amazon. And then you have web 2.0. You had video. You had companies like YouTube. Now, when you're thinking web 3.0, it's going to be where I have to be able to, when I come to your website, I'm no longer just going to pull up a page and watch video. I'm going to be able to walk through your front door. So if I'm a store, if I'm, let's say H&M, I'm going to either put on a pair of glasses or it's just going to be on my desktop, think Second Life, think, but it's going to be this interactive web where you're actually physically walking through the experience, so I could try things on. If I want to try a car, I can actually go and sit inside of the car and be able to drive it around and see how does this feel. That's what we're talking about when we say the metaverse, is this interconnected world where now you could participate. It's not a passive web, it's more of a active participatory web. And that's what we're talking about. And VR and AR is what's going to enable that to happen.
So I'm trying to pull it up now. One of my favorite movies of all time. Of course, I can't think of the name of it, but, and I'm starting to give you a couple of clues. You'll be like, oh yeah, you're talking about. So they actually had, if you remember, so there were the precogs. Mm-hmm. Remember the precogs? They could anticipate crime. And so then as a part of this verse, what were the police, as it were, they would show up with like the stick. Minority Report. That's it.
Oh, Minority Report. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Here I go. Cause I was getting
yes.
Because that remains one of my favorite movies. I know there were some VR elements, some metaverse elements there. I know there are others that probably have an even more robust VR interplay. But that's exciting. I mean, I think about, you remember the scene where they were in the mall, and that was essentially it. The stores, they did the eye scan, right? And then by virtue of the eye scan, it recalled the prior shopping experience. Are you coming back for the coordinating jacket to go with the, and it's kind of like,
yes,
goodness,
That's it. That's it. Coming to life.
I feel better about it being something I can do from home, though. Then, that feels a bit safer and wow. But at the same time, a bit more invasive. It's all very interesting. Like, how do you feel about it? And then we've got 4 minutes left.
Oh, okay. I'm super excited about it because it's going to introduce all kinds of learning experiences. For us, we're not just only doing music concerts and, sports teams, where we're doing music concerts. We got sports teams. We're doing something with the English Premier League. We're doing stuff with, Dwayne Wade, and the list goes on. But I'm super excited about the opportunities and the things that we have in the pipeline with education and training, because one of the things that VR does is it shortens the path to learning. Yeah. We're, visual learners. And when you experience something, you remember it so much more, and the recall, and this has been medically and scientifically proven, all of that. So those are areas that I'm super excited about, that it will make learning so much more accessible. There are so many different careers out there. You hear about, the job, the lack of jobs, but there are careers out there where they can't hire people fast enough. And so we're teaming up with a lot of those type of companies. And of course, with space, we're working on our own VR Space Academy. So we'll train people for jobs with companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin and, Beta, the aircraft company in Region, and all of that. So that's the part that I'm equally excited about, if not more excited about.
Yeah, I'm involved in this ongoing conversation about children and how just how intelligent they are. It's unfathomable, really, for me. Yes. my 3-year-old, he's the smartest person in our household.
Yeah.
And I know that technology has everything with that. A lot of those experiences have already been shortened prior to this metaverse. And so are we creating a scenario? And I know this is more of a philosophical question, but are we creating a scenario that could be problematic when we think about the existing generational divide, right? And what is likely to come about when we introduce this reality that some folks are going to be averse to because it's too tech enabled. It's too tech dependent, right? What are your thoughts there?
I think it's going to happen, and the sooner we get them involved, because if they don't get control over the robots and the AIs, then we're going to be in even more trouble. I'd rather our kids be the ones that are helping control the future of technology than for the AIs, because then, there are no emotions involved. There's nothing personal involved. And then we're all doomed. So as much as there's the divide. And realistically, we're going to have scenarios where you have 8-year-olds that will be flying airplanes and drones and network operations centers and all this stuff. And they'll be doing it better than anyone can ever do. But that's the reality that we're headed towards.
Wow. You raise a whole different new perspective for me to try and wrap my mind around VR and AI and what is that interplay. And okay. Yeah, I got to do some science. So definitely give us again the link to your website, any social media that you want to share. How can we engage with you? I'm already thinking that I have a speaking opportunity for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'd love to talk further. Yeah.
Please visit seek.com, and it's CEEK.com. Try out the VR headset, try out the VR headphones, and the VR headphones are for VR, but they're also for everything, for music, for fitness. So it's seek.com, CEEK.com.
Perfect. This has been phenomenal. I'm going to catch up with you after the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mary Spio with Seek VR. This is awesome stuff. I appreciate your time today. Very nice to meet you. And thanks for your work.
Thank you, Blair. Thanks for your work as well.
Hey, this is Seiko, DJ Seiko Varner, the producer of this podcast. So when I'm not producing podcasts, I'm actually DJing wedding receptions, corporate events, proms, other formals. And I would love to take care of your special event. So our company is Positive Vibes Incorporated, www.positivevibes.net. That's www.positivevibes.net. We've been performing for over 25 years, and we would love to bring our expertise and our fun to your special event. Positive Vibes Incorporated, www.positivevibes.net. Peace and prosperity.
Excited about this 150th show. Joining me now is Reverend Rance Dunbar, aka the Chakra Doctor. He is the founder and CEO of MyFCA Incorporated, born and raised in Big Easy, New Orleans, after overcoming countless hardships in life, including child abuse, depression, disease, addiction, lack of education, suicide attempts, near-death experiences, and more. He propelled himself into a positive spiritual state of being and has evolved into a full-time Black business owner, right? Natural holistic healer and spiritual master. Welcome to the show, Reverend Rance Dunbar, the Chakra Doctor. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing well and great, divinely blessed, wonderfully infinite. Attitude of gratitude is the longitude and latitude. I'm thankful for all that I have and all that is yet to come. Living life one day at a time. How everybody doing out there?
Yes. Everybody's well. We're excited. I'm always grateful for a conversation with someone who has experienced transformation. I think there are a lot of folks delving in varying degrees of consciousness, right? But not necessarily having followed it through to the transformation that is possible. So I am blessed to be in your company this morning. Let's talk about the FCA yoga guided meditation that you created. How was this born? What does it do? How can we gain access to it, etc.?
So it was born, well, let's get it clear. The me that you see now was born in from hell. I always tell people that the heaven that I've made, I made it to heaven through going through a lot of hell. I was the only child of my mother and father. My mother died when I was, 16 years old on Christmas Day. She always raised me in spiritual, religious backgroundings. And when she passed away, and when a few other people passed away right in the vicinity, like back-to-back years with her, all of that death, along with, the poverty of New Orleans, sent me into those realms of poverty. Like they tell you, it's hard to get into trouble. I mean, it's easy to get into trouble, but hard to get out of it. And when, I heard you say earlier that, one of somebody who has experienced it, and believe it or not, becoming a Black business owner and actually forging my path of, forging my path to success without needing Caucasian help, was the one thing I bumped into was that. Like, I meet a lot of my people who were, a business in name, or they were, they had a good intention, or they had a good motivation, but when it came time to execute, to start, middle, finish, repeat, start, middle, finish, repeat, and do it repetitively and consecutively to show that they're worth value, that's where, the disconnect comes in that, because, something got to get sacrificed. I got to sacrifice my diet, or I got to sacrifice this or that. So sacrifice, coming from poverty, coming from child abuse, coming from all of those horrible things, those hellish things, sent me on a spiritual path that found the chakras. And I always used to go to church, right? And he used to always sing this song called "This Little Light of Mine." And I used to love that song. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And everybody always talking about, how bright, the light shine. And whenever you talk about, heavenly things or godly things, they always refer to as this light or this brightness or this pureness or this holiness, right? And so delving off, following the path of the Bible, because the Bible told me that I will perish if I lack knowledge in Hosea 4:6. So I said, okay, well, wait a minute. I can't perish because I lack knowledge. Well, the basic instructions before leaving Earth told me that this is not the only instructions. I got to go get some more instructions to coincide with it. And that's when I delved off outside into other spiritual practices, religious faith beliefs, had an open mind to the omnipotence of God, because omnipotence and omnipresence mean you're everywhere within everything, including the religions that I don't practice. You're still there too. And so I found the chakras and found out that the chakras mean wheel of light or sphere of light. And the technology shows you that this light is inside of you. So I said, this is what my church was talking about this whole time, that these Indian people over here going home and chanting it, right? And they got that from Africa. Keep that in mind. And we over here, we don't have no knowledge of it whatsoever. They levitating, healing cancer, doing all kind of stuff over there in these other countries with the same technology. And we had no idea of it. At least I had no idea. I can't hear you.
I got to challenge you. I got to challenge you. Thank you for alerting me that my microphone was muted. I have to challenge you. I thought you weren't going to say it, but you said it. And since you said it, I have to challenge you. You said levitating.
Levitating. So I always...
Let me ask you the question, though. Let me ask you the question. Because I get it.
I'm saying reports. I'm saying over the years, there have been reports.
No. Let me fully articulate my challenge, right? Because I've seen the reports and so forth, and it's really, really cool. My question, though, is that what is the relevance when we think about big picture, when we think about the state of the earth, when we think about global poverty, global disease, global issues? What value then does levitating have to
yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm about to show you right now. In order for you to reach that state, you have to have a certain constitutive mind. You have to have a certain constitutive body, constitutive spirit, and a constitutive soul. Without this, you will not be able to reach the state to rise above. That's what levitating is, rising above the earth. Remember, the Bible says, on earth as it is in heaven. Our mission on earth is to reach the heavenly state while we're here, not die and get there. So when you're talking about levitating just doesn't apply to, hey, me lifting my physical body up off of the ground. I can levitate above negative emotions. I can levitate above poverty. I can levitate above hunger. I was homeless. How did I make it out of homelessness into a 5-figure a month business without needing Caucasian help? I was in poverty. I come from a 9th grade dropout. I was addicted. I come from recidivism, and my business partner is a millionaire, and I talk to billionaires. So I know for a fact I am the ultimate levitator. I come from complete nothingness into somethingness, and one of the things that showed me how to get there was the ability to quote unquote levitate. All right. And so
I'll take it.
One of the big bad wolves in the Black community that I feel is our ability to talk about the big bad wolf like the 3 little pigs, but we don't never turn into the big bad wolf. We always just talking about the big bad wolf. The white boy done did this, the white boy done did that, the white boy done did that, and the white boy done did this. But last time I checked, the kingdom of heaven is within. And greater is he that lives in me than he that lives in the world. That means Psalms 82:6 wasn't lying to me when it said, I say that ye are God. And then Jesus came back and told him in John 10:34, didn't your book say I say that you are God? So if Christ told me I'm God, God told me I'm God, I'm made in the image and likeness of God. Black people around here calling themselves God, goddesses, kings, and queens. But show me the kingdom that you have, God or goddess. Show me the kingdom that you have, king or queen, because last time I checked, every god I know and every king I met had a kingdom to run. And that kingdom was ran and had delegations, and they were able to have a level of emotional control to run the kingdom, a level of sustainable economics to run the kingdom, and they had a level of genius and leadership to run the kingdom. Guess what we do though? As a majority, I'm speaking to my people from the hood. I'm from food camps. I'm from the EBT.
Let me transition because this is fundamentally a show about business, right? Black Wall Street Today is a platform to really talk through how we got where we are in terms of business, and that's why I appreciate hearing your story because I think it's crucial to how you kind of started this business and what it is that you do within the business. Can we talk about what you do within the business? I know a big part of it is you're helping individuals to come to knowledge of themselves, right? And as a result of coming to knowledge of themselves, they're able to heal and so forth. So what are some of the products and services that you are selling?
So yes, the number one product and service that I tell people and I give to people is the FCA yoga because it's for free. You go on my website, chakradoctor.org. And you can click on the free, you can click on FCA Yoga tab, and there's a free guided meditation to get you to activate your chakra. So that's for free. That's just my giveaway. But then I also give natural holistic healing, intracellular cleansing. I met Dr. Spio in 2014. He bust my mind open to the alkaline world. And I grabbed it, took it, ran with it, and turned it into a business. I didn't just take that valuable information that man gave us as a whole people and just let it fall to the wayside. I took what he gave us and turned into Dr. Sabi number 2. This is what they call me in Southern LA, right? And so I offer intracellular cleansing. I've healed over 25,000 patients of incurable diseases. There's no such thing as an incurable disease in my world. Okay, there's no such thing as that in my world. I also give religious and medical exemption because I am a health and wellness brand. So my belief is that if we're going to accomplish all of these big dreams, like we say, Black people, we're going to have to start putting up them vampire numbers like Rockefeller did when Rockefeller died at 101 and Prince Philip just died at 99. But we can't make it to 50 DMX without needing a pill or dying. We can't make it to 60, Shock G without needing a pill or dying. So last time I checked, it takes a century, a real century. We was made to live a century or more, but we can't even make it to a half a century, most of us. And so that's why my field is...
Chakra Doctor, you offer consulting, yes?
Yes, 818-429-1675.
All right. And then you offer, so that's the primary service that you offer. And then you have some products that you're selling as well, right?
Yes. So the product is the Miracle Food Bundle. You can heal yourself in your own home of so-called incurable disease. I'm about to release the Miracle Food Platinum package, and that just cuts the healing time in half. You got crystals. I always tell people from incense and sage to healing cancer and AIDS. You can find it on my website, and I'm just adding more products, and they're all natural. They're all holistic. They don't. There's nothing synthetic or manufactured that is found on my website. And I'm a real big fan of our ancestors and our ancestral belief. Being a Native American from New Orleans, a Choctaw, Chippewa Native American to be exact, and I can still see Native American blacks that look just like you and me with those high cheekbones and those slender noses. I can still see them for Mardi Gras every year, and I know my heritage.
Chakra Doctor, what are the contents of the Miracle Tea? I love the packaging with all of the science and so forth on it. What kind of, I'm not asking you to give us the actual formula or the recipe.
Yes,
just
you know
the underlying kind of elements. What is the base of the tea?
So the base of the tea is nine different herbs into one tea, right? And those 9 different herbs will heal for a variety and a range of things. So I've always been a fan of combining different herbs and compounding herbs and using it as one versus, hey, I'm going to use this sea moss, and then I'm going to use this bladderwrack, and then I'm going to use this. No, how about you blend the sea moss, blend the bladderwrack, blend this, blend that, and blend it all together as one and take it as one, and you'll get a way more powerful impact. So there's 9 different herbs in the tea. Everything ranges from ringosine, damiana, passion flower, moringa. You have you have 4 superfoods in your Miracle Food oil, which is beetroot oil, CBD with no THC oil, black seed oil, and you have
moringa.
I said black seed. Yeah. I said all 4 oils. I'm sorry. So you have all of those oils in the tea. in the Miracle Food, and then you have those 9 packed powerful herbs within the tea, and you blend them together for a wonderful 13 herb blend. And I've been known to heal everything from, autism to diabetes to repairing spinal cords and paralysis, dementia, schizophrenia, especially when they come to my healing camp. I got 3.5 acres where people could come and visit me in Texas, in nature, and come and heal their bodies of incurable disease. All I ask that you bring your before diagnostics, and when you leave with your after diagnostics and show that we actually healed you, we'll have that paperwork to show that we heal incurable disease. This is why I'm able to market it and they not sue me, because I actually have the paperwork to show that, hey, I've healed incurable disease and I'm constantly healing the curable disease. And if you want vaccination exemption, please come talk to me. I will give you vaccination exemption, religious exemption, and medical exemption. I am a licensed ordained Christian minister as well.
Okay, I appreciate you, sir. Chakradoctor.org, chakradoctor.org. Any social media you want to push really quickly as we wrap up?
Yep, Instagram, chakradoctor_. Follow my channel, subscribe, like me on YouTube at Chakra Doctor TV. And you can go to my Facebook and like my Facebook at Chakra Doctor. As a matter of fact, I'm very Googleable. Just Google Chakra Doctor and you can find all sorts of things on me. Thank you. Over and out.
Hey, I appreciate the information as well as the inspiration. We look forward to catching up with you again in the future, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
You as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to Black Wall Street today. This has been an incredible show. I do want to invite you to visit chakradoctor.org for more information on Reverend Rance Dunbar, the Chakra Doctor. As well, make sure you visit the Seek website. And that's, again, CEEK. VR, right? If you want more information on virtual reality and want to plug into her platform, yes, indeed. Thank you so much as well to our sponsors, Milestone Mental Health Agency, Apex Financial Group of Virginia, and the COO team. And thank you for tuning in to Black Wall Street today, where we're building minds, building connections, and forging the path ahead toward business success in the Black community. We'll be joined next week by Ron Wilson with Best Bald Shave. You don't want to miss it.
This show was brought to you by the consulting services of Positive Vibes Incorporated. We do credit fixes, we do debt restructuring, and we put money in the pockets of real estate investors. So give us a call. We can fix your credit. We can restructure your debt. And if you're a real estate investor, I would love to put thousands of dollars into your pockets. 757-932-0177. That's 757-932-0177.
Phenomenal. Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram, and then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said and I will continue to say that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party.
Hey, yo, when I say Black